All right, y'all, we live. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing help, well, better understanding the self and giving praises, man. You know how we do. So check it. Shout out to my boy Introvert Rockstar, man. His channel was crazy. I was about to report on the black trucker was found hung from a tree. And YouTube acting like it was like suicidal or something like that. If y'all check on the bottom, you're not alone. 9888 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. I wonder if my boy knows it's on his channel like that. But we know this wasn't no it wasn't no suicide. But yeah, trucker gets hung from a tree in North Carolina. We gotta check on our people, man, because they be grabbing people up in North Carolina. But I'm gonna go over this video, man. Go over some other stuff on standing on business. That's what we gotta do out here right now, stick together. But let's get it. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Oh, what up, everybody on TikTok? So this is my friend. This is a little update about him that was hung in North Carolina from a tree. He was, they said there was a black stool next to him, but he was high up in the tree. That don't make sense. Like, he's 300 pounds. That little stool would have broke or fell into the ground, and he was hung up in the tree. It don't make sense, but they didn't take fingerprints. They're not even trying to give anything about the autopsy. Everything's weird. So I'm thank you for everybody that's putting this story out there, reposting, commenting. It's crazy. And rest in peace to JV McGee, because there's multiple situations that happen. And this isn't the only one. But hopefully everybody will come together and catch whoever the fuck doing this. But yeah, I'm out. And his mother is getting a lawyer and stuff and trying to get stuff situated, but shit is too much. But if you can, please go to his GoFundMe page, linked in the bio. Please donate something so we can get his body home.
And you already know, on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will? But before we start this video, if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get to stepping. Alicia Moore has lost her son, Mario, due to a tragic and unexpected death. Mario resided in North Carolina with his girlfriend. He recently celebrated his 30th birthday in February this year. There are many unanswered questions involving the death of Mario, and nothing hurts more as a parent than not knowing what your child may have gone through. Make that make sense. And how ironic, the only written information we have on this case is a GoFundMe account. And I'm going to put that in the description. We have no articles, no news reports, no police reports, no autopsy of Mario Kaiser. Make that make sense. But I told y'all, all these people on the same team, especially in these sundown states. And yes, North Carolina is a sundown state, but we'll talk about that later on in this video. Mario Kaiser was only 30 years old. He was from Chicago. He had his own trucking company. And this is my second time covering a story about a black truck driver from Chicago that was hanging from a tree in North Carolina. But before I spaz out, shout out to Taylor House, because he was the first one to break this story. And he talked to the mother. Run the tape.
I was over here, and all my family and everybody was over here. We was talking and stuff, and the detective called and told me that they found Mario in the woods hung. Just like that. I'm like, what? I said, you lying. He did not. That's what they trying to say.
And so these woods was like right by his apartments?
Right by his apartment, like 50 feet. That's what they trying to say. He walked. But the detective said he didn't even see him. Now all of a sudden you just seen him on the...
So they trying to say that the man hung his own self on the tree. He committed suicide. And you know we don't believe
camera
that.
And stuff. That's what I'm trying to figure out. When you seen him on that camera, what did he have in his hand? Detective Moore won't even tell me that, you know?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, he said he seen him on the apartment camera.
Yeah, he seen him on the apartment camera. I guess it's like a key pod or something you got to use to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he seen him on that leaving at 10:30 at night. The girlfriend said, how did he see him leaving at 10:30 at night? He in the house talking to me on the phone. You know, she screenshotted everything. I said, yeah, he's lying. That's why he know he didn't got caught up in the lie. That's why he went back and got that table from the crime scene, because it wasn't there.
All right. Now, there you hear the mother describing her experience with the Charlotte Police Department in the wake of her son's demise. And there's so many inconsistencies with what the detectives are saying that raises eyebrows. First of all, they're asking her, how did she get there so quick? Because they probably were not expecting her to get there so quick. And the fact they did not let her see the body. And remember, Javion McGee, they did not let his family see the body. And there was some
Make that make sense. And they want to tell you that slavery is over. They want to tell you to get over the past. But in 2025, they still finding our people hanging from trees in sundown states. And we all know who did it. Tell me I'm lying. And last year, the same exact thing happened to 21-year-old Javion McGee. And like I said, he was from Chicago also. And ironically, this only happened 2 hours apart. Javion McGee was murdered in Henderson, North Carolina. Mario Kaza was murdered in Charlotte, North Carolina. Matter of fact, they just released the autopsy report 8 months later. Check this out. And this article is by ABC 11. It was published May 7, 2025. So this month, Raleigh, North Carolina, the autopsy report for Javion McGee, a 21-year-old Illinois man, was found dead in North Carolina, was released Wednesday. The report done by state medical examiner ruled McGee's death a S word. I can't say it on YouTube, but you know what I mean. They said he did it to himself. Months after he was found dead hanging from a tree in Vance County, McGee was found dead on September 11, 2024 in a wooded area. The Vance County Sheriff described him as having his back up against a tree and a rope around his neck. He said there was no L word. Sheriff Curtis Brame said there was no foul play suspected in McGee's death and said preliminary information pointed to a possible S word. Make that make sense. And this is Sheriff Brame. See, they always using these type of Negroes to cover up their dirty work. But I'm always telling y'all, sometimes you have to sit back, shut up, and use your common sense. Black people, we not going, unless we going hunting, we're not going to no woods just to, just for play. We don't play like that. Tell me I'm lying. And then I said, wait. I'm starting to see a pattern. Anytime a black truck driver goes missing, they always find them in the woods, and then everyone plays dumb. For example, again, Javion McGee, 21 years old, they found him laying up against a tree with a rope tied around his neck 12 times. Who played like that? Nobody go sit there and tie a rope around their neck 12 times. That's not happening. And then we have Mario Kaza. He was over 300 pounds. Tall dude, big dude. You telling me he stood on that little stool and climbed a tree? It don't make sense. And then the next day the stool was gone. So someone is trying to cover up the evidence. And then we have Evan Bryant. His body was also found in a wooded area at a truck stop in a sundown town. But guess what? They saw nothing. They had all those cameras and no one saw nothing. He just graduated from truck driving school and no one saw anything with those cameras. And then we have Jason Pearson. He worked for Prime. Everyone drives for Prime. But guess what? His body was found in a wooded area right across the warehouse he was delivering to, and no one saw anything. They found his body like 2 weeks later. They was cutting grass, and they said they popped up across his body. Make that make sense. And guess what Prime did? All Prime did was went back, got their truck. Like the next day, they went back and got their truck. When they heard he was missing, they went back and got their truck. They didn't help with no investigation, nothing. All they did was put somebody else in that truck. That's why I'm always telling y'all, these people don't give a damn about you. If you was to be unalive, they not gonna fly your body back to the state you from. They don't give a damn. They just gonna move on because you are just a number. And then we have Tamon Blair. Blair was found in his trailer with the door shut, hanging inside of his trailer, and no one saw nothing. He was around.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm gonna go over that. Zion Williams after this, man. They trying to do what they did to Shannon Sharp to Zion.
All these witnesses in a sundown town and no one saw anything. So you telling me all these black truck drivers are just going to different states and deleting themselves? Make it make sense. There is no definitive count of sundown towns in the U.S., but the estimates range from several thousand to potential over 2,400. A recent study identified 2,248 historical places with evidence of sundown town histories. While many sundown towns were in the Midwest, they were found throughout the country. Make sense. And the reason why I say North Carolina is a sundown state, because get off that interstate and hit those back roads. Get off that interstate and hit those mountain roads. Don't let the new construction fool you. Don't let the new buildings fool you. Nothing has changed. Tell me I'm lying. And then you have to think about this. The cops went inside of his apartment and they wiped out his laptop and his cell phone. His own mother couldn't go inside of that apartment. His own mother couldn't see his body. They didn't even have an autopsy. Make it make sense. And wait, I'm going to say this. I have to say this to my truck drivers. Protect yourself at all times when you over the road and when you coming home, because I did multiple stories of truck drivers. When they getting home, they park their truck in these sundown areas, these sundown states, these sundown towns, and they get murdered. And guess what? The cops ain't trying to figure that shit out. They moving on. They not going to even give you an autopsy. I told y'all the game is cold. So Monday, I need a favor from y'all. We calling this number and we go demand answers, because it's no way in North Carolina they can keep getting away with this with Javion McGee. And now we got Mario Kaiser. While their parents are suffering, while their parents will never be the same, these cops, they just going on living with life. They going to church acting like they Christians. They celebrating these holidays this summer. They just going through life and acting like nothing ever happened. I'm tired of this shit, especially with truck drivers. All truckers do is go on the road, try to make their money and get home safe to their family. So please, to my people, to all the truck drivers, especially the black truck drivers, please protect yourself. And like I say, we don't live in fear, but you have to stay aware when you're out there on the road. I'm out. And rest in peace to Mario Kaiser. I'm out.
Farewell to my baby boy.
Condolences to the family, man. But yeah, this is it's crazy, man. They try to lie to us right in front of our face, though. But salute the introvert rock star. He closing in on 100,000 subscribers, doing work for the community. And we got a lot going on, man. We also got now we got the whole another Shannon Sharp case going on with Zion Williams, which is crazy. Seemed like the same attorney. This kind of getting me like, this attorney gonna make me really, be upset at what he doing, because the same attorney is not
going through a little upgrade by Tats. So
Zion
when Verizon
Williams
announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain free, count me in.
It's going too slow. This is what they do.
Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Two-time NBA All-Star Zion Williamson is accused of rape and years of sexual, physical, emotional, and financial abuse in a new lawsuit filed right here in Los Angeles. Now, a woman claiming to have dated the New Orleans Pelicans forward from 2018 to 2023 accuses the 24-year-old of a continuing pattern of abusive, controlling, and threatening behavior. The civil complaint details 2 alleged incidents of rape taking place in 2020 in Beverly Hills, as well as accusations of strangulation, death threats to the plaintiff and her family, as well as physical abuse. Now, Williamson's attorney denies the allegations, calling the claims categorically false and reckless, adding that it appears to be an extortion attempt, which he says was reported to law enforcement. Now, his attorney also adds that Williamson and the plaintiff never dated, but maintained a consensual casual relationship that began when he was 18. That's around the time that Williamson played 1 season at Duke before he was the Pelicans' first overall pick in 2019. Now, because this is a civil complaint, no criminal charges have been filed.
I'm so sick of these people with these not filing criminal charges, but then they want to like file for millions and millions of dollars.
Speculating that you maybe are Jane Doe. What's the deal?
So before I answer that, I would like to say I really hope all the victims, including me, get justice, and things that have happened in the past with him and with anybody else, everything gets resolved, because a lot of us don't deserve that. And you know, I just feel like a lot of things have been swept under the rug for so long, you know, and I feel sorry to the victim. You know, I've been through a lot of stuff with him, and it's just shocking, you know.
Has this suit that you saw, you know, drop just now, giving you any feelings like, hey, you know, or inspiration to file your own grievances, your own suit?
I don't want to talk about that right now without my lawyer present, but I'm just shocked, and you know, hopefully he changes and the victim and me and everyone else can find comfort and, you know, move past all of this.
Any message to Zion himself?
Zion, I hope you can change your ways and, you know, just change, because this is disgusting what you're doing to everyone, and it's just not right. And this is not the man that I met a few years back. This is not who I thought you would become. This is not a representation of, you know, your job, and you know, this is very serious. And I just hope you change your ways, because your job and your family and your legacy is on the line. This is serious.
Extortion. I don't like. This is sickening, man. I hate that, you know, the same lawyer that is hitting up Jay-Z, they just hitting up everybody now. Now it's like getting, you know, I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't feel like Zion would, and I don't know him, but just to hearing the reports how he was paying that woman $100,000 a month, and now she's making it seem like he wanted to do it. It don't make sense. He was paying you $100,000 a month. It's just, it's gonna be over for, you know, any athletes or any of these rich players dealing with women at all. They're gonna have to just not even be on their lifestyle, and they're gonna mess up all the money and the jobs. This probably gonna be a good thing, because nobody gonna mess with them no more. They're gonna be looked at as, you can't deal with them because they're gonna sue you, they're gonna lie on you, and nobody just gonna deal with them. And that's good to get them out the street. Some of them women need to get a real job and stop trying to be like OnlyFans and all of this. But I don't like it. I don't believe her. You know. Now with Shannon Sharp, I don't know. That looks like, you know, they had evidence, but I heard the evidence in this case, and it was like everything is a gray area. They don't have nothing substantial. So I don't believe it, and I think they're gonna try to go after a lot of money. We'll never hear about no. We'll never hear about no guy that don't got money going through this. Think about it. Have you ever heard of anybody in your neighborhood, your drug dealers, or anybody that, you know, they don't never have no problems like this? It's just like all of the rich guys. That makes me, you know, these guys can pay for anything. It's just a crazy world we living in, though. But I hope Zion Williams, man. But he made some mistakes too, for even letting those kind of women get close to thinking that they could do something like that. But this is an APP out on anybody that got something going on. They're either gonna do you like that, or they're gonna do you like Travis Hunter, man. You know, which one? And this is just hurting the black community with unity, you know. So it's like people gonna be scared to be in a relationship with somebody. Um, but yeah, Zion is next. A lot of people saying his career may be done with. I don't know, man. I'm finna check out Bad.
issued a statement replying, and it read in part, and I'll go into some other details other than what I mentioned in our report just now. The rest of the statement included, quote, Mr. Williamson and the plaintiff never dated but did maintain a consensual, casual relationship that began more than 6 years ago when he was 18 years old. That relationship ended years ago. At no point did the plaintiff raise any concerns. Only after the friendship ended did she begin demanding millions of dollars. Unquote. The statement also alleged, quote, this is the plaintiff's third set of attorneys, unquote.
So after he broke up with her, she started asking for millions of dollars, right? Because he was giving her hundreds of thousands of dollars, and she gonna come up with all these lies, like. But you know what? After going through all of this is gonna make it hard for women in that industry doing stuff like that. You know, I hope he win the case, but I hope it's hard for them to even get money.
Yeah. So, do you want me to break it down for you? I mean, do we all kind of figure out what's going on here?
Digging in trash cans.
Like, I'm gonna just take a guess. Again, I know no details, but even from all of this, she was a chick he hooked up with more than once, probably wherever she lived. Does she live in Los Angeles? Is that why it was filed in Los Angeles?
It did not say. It was just filed in LA Superior Court.
Yeah. Okay. So, but it likely means she lives in Los Angeles. So when he would come to LA, that was his LA girl, right? And you know the emotional and financial abuse element of it feels like, hey, you promised me you'd give me some money and you'd take care of me, and either you didn't to the level that I think I should be taken care of, or you didn't at all because that wasn't what it was all about to you. Right? That's a pretty reasonable. I don't know about the sexual abuse. All I know is that usually if you're abused sexually, you go to the police, right, and the police do rape kit, or there'd be a criminal charge. In this particular case, it feels really hard.
I'm saying if you do not go to the police, you can't file a lawsuit. When the crime happened, if you didn't go to a crime and you like, okay, I ain't go, because you know the crime ain't gonna stick. It has to be a crime for you to file a lawsuit, bro. I don't like that.
Hard to believe because, again, if it was consensual and if it was not ongoing all the time, but when he came to LA, then that tracks. And yeah, it doesn't feel like it's the strongest case in the world. I don't want any woman to ever feel like they could be violated. And if you are violated, go to the authorities and charge people to the fullest extent of the law. But yeah, this is, on the other hand, there's an expression, and the expression goes like something like this: sleep with the dogs. Don't be surprised when you get fleas. You know, there's been rumors this is like a Instagram model, and she has some prodigious features to her, and it's like one of those things. Like, if you just date normal people, you'll get normal results. If you date people that aren't normal, abnormal things happen. This is an abnormal thing.
I agree, and I feel like all of them, they need to be having a red flag on them. Like, nobody need to deal with them when y'all want to get on these OnlyFans until enough people get robbed or try to. They're gonna stop. They're gonna be the worst. They're gonna be the bottom of the barrel. The regular girls are gonna get play again, and no more OnlyFans.
Again, if he did something bad, then he should pay for it.
Yeah,
if she's making it up, she should pay for it, and it's equally it's awful. The whole story bad. The biggest issue I see is, like, it's not an isolated one with him. It's not. He was hurt again this year. He was heavy again this year, and they have a new general manager in New Orleans. And the report out today was no one is No one is immune to being traded.
I want to quickly talk to you about SimilarWeb and how I've been using it to help along my marketing.
No one is immune to being traded. And if that's the case, that includes Zion, who was supposed to resurrect the Pelicans, and it just hasn't happened. Okay, I'm willing to believe these are categorically false, reckless allegations. It seems like most of us read into it and know.
It's a money grab.
I don't know. Again, you can't choke a woman. You can't, rough up a woman. You can't violate a woman. If he did any of these things, he should go to jail, not just pay a fine.
Right, bro. No paying fines, bro. If you did something wrong, you got to get locked up like everybody else. I mean, I don't like when, just because you got money now, you don't got to go to jail or you don't got to do nothing. You just got to pay you a couple $100,000 or some million. Really, she want million. That ain't justice, bro. We don't believe.
Not just pay damages. But that's not what this is about. This is about like a kind of continuation of who he's associated with, how he's carrying himself, how he's still not gotten himself into consistent shape, and why he keeps getting hurt, and the fact that the franchise that was supposed to be built around him is like, if you want him, just make a good offer or you can have him. Feel like that to anybody else? Bursch, Ilo?
Yeah, I think he's.
So that's pretty much the case, man. That's the woman, but everybody is talking about this. I want to know what Shannon got to say. I played the girl already for y'all, but I feel like, it's another money grab, in my opinion, but the government ain't gonna deport or punish themselves. Nah, they ain't gonna report, but they need to come up with something with these civil lawsuits of women and this lawyer Busby, bro. I don't like the fact that they got all of these lawsuits that's coming out. I mean, I ain't gonna say all of them. It's only a few of them, but it's just getting spooky out here, man. We had it was another basketball player.
Pelican star Zion Williamson faces rape and abuse allegations from a woman who is claiming to be a former girlfriend.
In court documents, the woman, identified as Jane Doe, is accusing the star of raping her twice and then continuing a pattern of abusive behavior. This, as Zion's attorney says, they've reported the plaintiff's extortion attempts to law enforcement.
We have team coverage for you on this case tonight. First, let's start with WDSU.
So they reported it as extortion. They need to, if they find this to be true, bro, she need to be locked up. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
Reporter Ariel Brumfield as she breaks down what is in those court documents. Ariel.
Well, you guys, this lawsuit was filed yesterday by a woman who is making some very serious accusations, and at this time she is seeking both emotional and monetary damages. Pelican star Zion Williamson now defending his name against sexual assault allegations after a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend says he raped and abused her.
Those lawsuits could come from a variety of reasons, whether or not it's redressal damages, seeking to right a wrong, or just simply trying to get some money out of somebody.
In a civil lawsuit filed Thursday in California, the alleged victim says she and Williamson maintained a relationship from 2018 to 2023. And in court documents, she details what she says happened. According to those documents, she says Zion pinned plaintiff down on the bed with her hands behind her back and raped her. In another instance, she says he picked her up, threw her down to the ground, and pinned her shoulders down so she could not move. She says the defendant violently raped her in multiple ways. In a statement, Michael Blasio, Williams' attorney, pushing back against the allegations, saying the allegations contained in the complaint are categorically false and reckless, and an attempt to exploit a professional athlete driven by a financial motive rather than any legitimate grievance. Legal analysts are weighing in on the claims.
It could be that this case could be prosecuted both civilly and criminally if the prosecuting authorities in California or any other state choose to do so. But that can depend on a case-by-case evaluation by the prosecutor, by the district.
You know what? Because there's some single mothers out there, man, that they could have used that $100,000 a month, bro. I mean, to somebody like that, he was paying her $100,000 a month, and he cut her off.
Attorneys in each jurisdiction.
Court documents also say Williamson is accused of a continuing pattern of sexual assaults and abusive behaviors toward the plaintiff, spanning across several states. A legal analyst says statutes of limitations for sexual assault vary state by state. Court documents state the first rape happened in California nearly 7 years ago.
In Louisiana, you only have a year to file from date of incident. In the case of an allegation regarding sexual assault or sexual violence of some form in Louisiana, the period is 3 years from the date of the alleged incident. In other states, that number of years varies. My understanding is in California, it may be up to 10 years.
And at this time, the next steps would be for Williamson and his team to respond to the lawsuit, and then things will move into discovery. Williamson also says that he was not.
You know what you got to start doing? Recording. They got to start recording. Make it, you got to record. No, if we doing anything, record it so you can have proof. Media is the government. They call us black because we are the defensive position. Invaders are officially on the offensive, but man, record them. It's the best way to get you have it recorded.
Not in a relationship with the plaintiff. He claimed that they were just in a consensual situation. Reporting in New Orleans, I'm Ariel Brumfield, WDSU News.
And we did also learn. Today I'm going to make a beat for NBA Youngboy.
Gotta do it. Just have everything recorded. Gotta kill them so they can't do them guys like that. But everybody talking about Zion right now. Did he lose everything? Is he gonna be another Shannon Sharp? We'll see if this get out of control. The NBA players ain't gonna be able to just mess with all the girls like they used to. Those times is over. Unless they beat these cases, but shout out to Yam Star 88. Shout out to you. But yeah, man, I want to just jump in on this and vibe with y'all real quick about Zion. I had to spread the information about the trucker, man, losing his life. The simp golden age is upon us. The simp golden age. I mean, stuff like this been going on, but it was hard to like charge somebody with crimes, or they wasn't even doing it back then, you know. Nowadays, it's like those OnlyFans is really broke for real. They don't really make no money. It's just they done found a loophole. The lawyers can make money. The courts can make money. So it's like Rick James was a super freak. Yeah, man. I heard about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had 100 women. I think it was 1,000 or something weird number. But Zion was giving this woman $100,000 a month, and he cut it off. Like, dang, she's supposed to be grateful, bro. Like, damn, he gave me $100,000 a month. Not go sue the man. Like, that's crazy. That shows you right there, like, if you got to do all that, it ain't right, man. It was robbery at first. It was like you was giving her 100,000. As soon as when that stopped, she was depending on that 100,000. But that's what they do, man. They had Zion was young and horny, man. Bro, who was the trucker? I just tapped in. Bro, the trucker was Think of old boy name, man. You made me forget his name real quick, but they been flagging my guy channel. It was out of North Carolina though. I forget the trucker name, but the trucker got hung, man, in North Carolina. And they trying to say that it was they're trying to say that it was a suicide. Knowing well that it ain't no suicide. We don't kill we don't even do that. Indoor side woman, what's good? You put blood of Jesus. Yeah, man, I was going over the Zion thing, but yeah, the trucker was a truck driver. They said that he was hung, bro, and it's crazy. It's an adult film star, Mariah Mills. Yeah, black man, bro. So you already know what that is. Oh, you drove for that account? Oh, and it's crazy because they ain't even letting me pull it up. Okay. Look what they got. Let me show y'all this. Look what they got on the screen, bro. Just to let y'all see how they playing it. Look how they playing this. This what they got on my boy's screen when you try to talk about the trucker. They really trying to push this like it's a suicide. It's pronounced indoor sea woman. Okay. My bad. I got you. Yeah, they be lying to us, man. On my boy video who reporting this, you see what they got. The following content may contain suicide or self-harm topics. Like, bro, it ain't got nothing to do with suicide or self-harm topics, bro. You know? So they want everybody, they already is sold that. See, once they come up with the verdict of what they want to know of why somebody passed, it's like they spread it to YouTube, they spread it to everything. When we trying to tell people it's not what it is, they going on the channels where we talking about it. Like on my channel, they probably gonna have the same thing. You're not alone. 9888 suicide. He went in and brought rope. Wait, he went in and bought rope? For real? I ain't hear about that part. Yeah. So you already know they're gonna be playing with my channel. You know, they be playing on everybody's channel though, for real. Stay strapped to prevent things like that, FBA. Yeah. They be knowing who to try, man, and who to play with. But they said it was a lot of truckers like that too, man. It's like just being a black man right now, you got to be on your P's and Q's. We got to stick together. They trying to hit you in your pockets. They trying to hang you on trees. It's like, you know, people don't understand that crime is going down. And the news is just trying to report it to pipe it up. But any chance they get, they try to put a crime on. But crime is actually going down. But they trying to pump it back up. Ain't nobody trying to do life in jail for nothing no more. Like people starting to, they can't stand when the masses are in light. For real. They losing it. Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. I'm going to see if I can find it. Also happened in the Shy. Mm-hmm. It happened in the Shy. So the news is always promoting us, like in Chicago, everybody, taking each other out. They always promoting that. In every inner city, they want to promote that. We see that they putting us on trees and hanging us. And we see the lawsuits that's going on. So the system is like an attack, on the top structure for the black community, which is the black man, in my opinion. And that's what tears down the family and the structure, the women. Now they going after the women. They got some women, like I showed y'all with the Zion Williams case, they using white supremacy. They getting on their side to take brothers down. It's just crazy out here right now. But we still got to do what we got to do. Endorse C woman. God gives his angels charged over thee. Salute to that. Because, man, if we could have had the Black Panther Party here right now, we'll have would have been definitely protected. Mayor Brandon Johnson is the problem. Yeah, you got to stay prayed up. But it's 2025, so it's like they trying to hide something that's going on. I feel like it's a lot deeper. It's a lot deeper stuff going on. 2025, it equals that 9. When I heard about this, I didn't believe it, but Truck was done prison style, which bothered me. Yeah, if them Panthers were here, bro, it would have been. We done been so desensitized to this that it's like, but I'm sick of it, man. I'm with introvert, but I'm sick of this. People every day we getting something else. It's something else. But change gonna come for real. Trucker number. When I heard about this, I didn't believe it. Oh, the trucker was done prison style. Right, man. But they say in North Carolina, in that area, it's been a lot with them sundown town. So it's like, and women get snatched up too, man. It's like a lot of black women has gone missing as well. So it's like, we definitely need some type of security, military, the same thing that the Black Panther Party was having. Can't be working for these people by ourselves in different places, and we don't know. Too many people coming up missing. But yeah, we got to come up with something, man. Check out, I dropped this video. I'll show y'all this. But here is
right? That's what they trained us in. And there's the thing. We're gonna go through a lot of reasons why ain't nobody doing nothing. because it's pretty thorough, but it's pretty clear once you get a good example of it. So first, we have a legacy of shattered trust. Every time we tried to unify, somebody sold the dream for a check. From coin to celebrity endorsements, every black movement that got close to structural change was fractured from within or bought from without. We don't resist unity because we're apathetic. I just want people to know that. That's not what's going on. We resist unity because we've seen what happens to be unified. Unity got our leaders shot. Unity got our elders jailed. Unity got infiltrated, ridiculed, and erased. That's what happened. But then there's also this myth of representation that's roaming deep. We think we're at the table because we see a black face. Never ask who set the table, though. We think we're at the table because we see a black face, but never ask who set the table. From politics to media, we're given the performance of inclusion without the power of it. The system rotates black faces like mascots while keeping black needs off the agenda. One good job offer silences 5 revolutionaries. One grant gets you out of it. One mistake, they say your whole movement's invalid. So people survive instead of organize. But this is one of the most deepest ones and the one that matters to me. Really gets missed by a lot of people who say that for everybody. There is an exhaustion of constant readiness in the community. We are a people constantly on the edge of emergency. We can't build a vision while triaging wounds. The average black household is one emergency away from collapse. One from collapse.
Wrong point.
Parents working 3 jobs, grandmothers raising grandkids, kids navigating trauma with no language for it. Unity feels like a luxury when survival's a daily war. Planning feels like betrayal when folks are dying today. Right? But then this escalates, right? Because there's a weaponization of individualism that comes because they give us success instead of our liberation, and then you say you made it out. Then you say you made it if you made it out, right? Right, like that. That's one that gets deep because we internalize the lie that freedom is personal, not collective. That if you have a house, you're safe. That if you vote, you've done your part. That if you post, you've resisted. We've traded unity for proximity to whiteness. Can't even see it. Can't even see it. That's all that's going on. And no one catches it right here. Because they forget that no one gets to be free alone. No one gets free alone.
Right. No individualism. That's what we got going on too. A lot of individualism. But shout out to that brother, man, for standing on business. We gotta salute our brothers that be out here, sisters too, that be standing on business. Because we know how that is. But put the white male anus will replace the black vagina. Oh, what's up with you keep saying that, bro? I don't know why you keep dealing with this, bro. Who told you this? Man, it would be an all-out war. But yeah, man, it's brother that that's about the second or third time, bro. You've been saying that, bro. Like vividly. Nope. But yeah, it's a lot of us standing on business out here, but we got a lot of symbols. We got a lot of symbols. You saying look it up, but what does that mean though? That's all I'm trying to say. You saying look it up? It just sounds weird, bro. Standing on business means being a POS. Marvin Cruz. Dang, I ain't got none of my people in here that got that Marvin Cruz. What you talking about, man? Being a piece of bum. Marvin Cruz, call in, bro. What you talking about? Monday or Tuesday night. Y'all hear what this man talking about? What you want? Marvin Cruz just wanna he just wanna say crazy stuff. He ain't got nothing back and nothing. Cruz, that is Spanish. That's Spanish. He probably a Fat Joe supporter. I be having a lot of Fat Joe supporters be coming on my channel talking crazy. Yeah. They be Fat Joe homies. Marvin Cruz, you a Fat Joe fan? Keep it all the way official. Go Tuesday night. But we ain't worried about the haters, man. They be on there talking crap. But I do got big homie CC on Monday. He seen the standing on business. He seen the Black Panther Party, and he ain't like that. They don't like that. I'm about standing on business. It means being a piece of bum. He probably a bum for real though. I ain't finna give him too much light. But yeah, y'all, I covered the trucker that got hung, Zion Williams. This nigga Doge just shut up, bro. But okay, got you. But yeah, man, Doge was waiting for you for that meeting. I had dropped on here yet. We rescheduling it for Tuesday. She put that's your family name. Oh, Cruz is your family name? Hey, so you got a little Espanol in you, huh? Got a little Boricua. Cruz is a bum, bro. People that's bums go on other people like YouTube channels and they just go on to somewhere where they ain't wanted and they talk about it. So it's like that's bum behavior right there. I ain't never going on nobody YouTube channel, bro. And I don't like them. And I'm finna go on there and listen to what they saying. But I did want to jump on too. Did want to jump on to your boy Officer Tatum, right? Y'all know I be going hard. Y'all know I be going hard on let me show y'all this. She put fact, no lie. Check this out. It's going in.
Now, when white kids bully black kids, they're going to have to think twice now, Art. Carmelo Anthony should be honored.
Umar Johnson said that Carmelo Anthony should be celebrated. And you can't put a caveat on it. That's like saying Hitler should be celebrated, or not for what he did to the Jews. He should be No, when you celebrate him, you're celebrating everything he did. Carmelo should be celebrated. Projecting that he was being bullied. How do you get bullied in a situation where you ain't supposed to be?
See, Officer Tatum don't know, just like he ain't talking about this guy that just got hung. He don't know it's so many of us that we just got 19 of our skulls that got shipped back to New Orleans and people's head got chopped off. I appreciate you. Thank you. Endorse C woman. But 19 of our black people got their heads returned back from Germany to New Orleans. And nobody don't talk about that. So this is what we be saying.
This video is brought to you by Prison Fellowship Summer Camp. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very simple. And also, I want to thank everybody who participated. We're halfway there. This take that I'm about to show you is the craziest thing I ever heard. Like how is Dr. Umar Johnson even on the internet at this point? And I'm not saying he's on the internet, meaning that he should be not allowed to have a voice.
Bro, why you ain't talking about the white supremacy group that's marching around in, I forget what city that was, Kansas City? I'm gonna let y'all see that in a minute. We just got a trucker that just got hung. Bro, it's people tired of being bullied and pushed around and being done wrong, and we ain't getting no justice. We just had 19 heads that got chopped off and went for studies, and nobody was held accountable.
But they counsel people for much less. Not one person should give a head nod to what Dr. Umar Johnson said. However, there is tons of people in the chat. I would argue most people in the chat of this video agreed with him. They agreed with him. And so I want to play this clip so you can hear, and I want to warn you, this is pretty disturbing, right? I mean, some of y'all are probably going to fall out your chair. I know I thought I heard it all. Roll the clip.
Now, when white kids bully black kids, they're going to have to think twice now, Art. Carmelo Anthony should be honored, not for taking nobody's life. We don't honor death. We never do that. But for having the courage to stand up.
You hear the man say we don't honor death. He's trying to say he's for standing up and not being scared of somebody that's trying to bully you, because we've been bullied since the we don't even want to say when.
Up to 2 white bullies who are much bigger than him. Rest in peace to Hunter, who I believe lost his life.
It wasn't Hunter.
Because he had the courage to stand up to 2 bullies. Now, every black kid in America who's being bullied by white kids, those white kids are now going to think twice about what they're doing.
Facts, because check this out. This is what he's not going to talk about, right? Look at this group. Look at this crew. Look at this crew out here, y'all. And look what's going on. Talking about bullying. Check this out.
Lexi, thanks. Strong words from city leaders today. That's after members of a controversial nationalist group rallied and marched in Kansas City. The group is called the Patriot Front. Civil rights nonprofit, the Southern Poverty Law Center, categorizes it as a hate group. Fox 4's Jacob Sloan shares reaction from people around the city.
On Memorial Day weekend, the Liberty Memorial is decorated to honor our troops. But yesterday, more flags appeared at the memorial from ralliers. These pictures show the group with faces covered rallying at the memorial. They carry shields and a variety of flags. Some are upside down USA flags. Some carry the Betsy Ross flag from the 1700s. Others even hold the Confederate battle flag. The SPLC calls them a white nationalist hate group that split from the group who planned the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. That rally killed 1 person and injured many others. The National World War I Museum and Memorial issued a statement to Fox 4 on Sunday, saying they respect the group's right to peaceful assembly and free speech and want to be unequivocally clear that the views expressed by this group do not represent or align with our values. They continue to say they stand firmly against hatred, bigotry, and divisiveness in all forms. In a Facebook post on Saturday, Mayor Lucas also said, while the First Amendment provides the right to bring any message to Kansas City, we know that our diversity, our welcoming community, and our respect for the rights of all reject whatever hate and cowardice come our way. It's still unclear why the group chose Kansas City for their demonstration. We reached out to KCPD to see if they received any advance notice the rally was happening. We have not heard back. Jacob Sloan, Fox 4, working for you.
If you're an established video agency owner who's struggling with one-offs and referrals and you don't know where your next client is coming from.
So
what happens when 150 masks?
That's what I'm saying. So now we're going to go back to what?
Because if you keep it up, when you back somebody into a corner with fear and concern for their safety, it might not work out for you. And I can tell you, Art, as a certified school psychologist,
you should lose
works
your cert.
in schools, When white children bully black children, nothing is done about it. Let me say that again. When white kids bully black kids, nothing is done about it. There is a white privilege in America's public schools. There's a white privilege in America's charter schools. There's a white privilege in America's independent schools. For all we know, and I'm not going to put this on them, but for all we know, Hunter and Austin could have a history of bullying black kids, and it finally caught up to them.
He don't want to, like, he's so defending these
Keep
people.
him on there. I need people to see the clown. What in tarnation is he talking about? Umar Johnson said that Carmelo Anthony should be celebrated. You can't put a caveat on it. That's like saying Hitler should be celebrated, or not for what he did to the Jews. He should be No, when you celebrate him, you're celebrating everything he did. Carmelo should be celebrated, assuming, projecting that he was being bullied. How do you get bullied in a situation where you ain't supposed to be? That's like somebody coming and breaking into my house and me kicking them out of my house is me bullying them. How do you bully a person when you ain't supposed to be there? If anything,
bro, they're not security guards. What do you mean they're not supposed to be there? He taking it out of context. It was pouring down rain and the man trying to get dry. He just standing under a tent. They wasn't having to meet right now. He could have been somewhere else and just trying to get under the tent. Man trying to kick him out in the rain. That's bullying, bro. That's a form of bullying. Tatum is good at trying to push the goalpost to make things, for his supporters, that give him his check.
Carmelo was bullying them. He claimed that he should be celebrated in the black community because he had the courage to throw his life away. This is how the Negro thinks, the modern Negro. On the old school, we used to be smart and everything. We used to be, we were a threat to America. We were going to take over this country probably. But
you hear this? Knowing you got all these white sponsors talking about y'all would have took over the country, bro. It's a reason why Black Panther Party ain't here. It's a reason why, they did all that infiltration to our organizations.
Negro, the modern Negro, this is how they think. Model your behavior after a kid that threw his life away for nothing. You get to a tent that's not yours. Somebody say, man, get up out the tent. This ain't your team tent. All right, bro, I'm out. Sorry. Or if you ain't sorry, you just get up out the tent. Now you can sit in the tent and they start charging you, being like, let me get out the tent before I force you out. I don't want no confrontation. I'm at a track meet. It's their tent. Why do I care? I could go to another tent. I'm not going to have a confrontation with people when I'm in the wrong. But the mind of the melanin says
he was wrong. How do you know he was wrong? You wasn't there. You didn't stand in defense of none of our slain when the police took their lives. You didn't speak up for Trayvon.
I don't even rock with Dr. Umar, but you know what I'm saying? He be on some other stuff. He say some stuff like everybody. You will hear Charleston White say some things. Officer Tatum will say some things sometimes, but we know who they align with. I can't really say that with Dr. Umar, but it has been reports. But Charleston White and Tatum, I don't trust them, man.
Speak up for Sonia Massey. You didn't speak up for Sonia Bland or Amir Locke or Dante or Philando Castile or Freddie Gray. You didn't speak up for Breonna Taylor, but you're going to get on the internet and speak up for Caucasian Nation? To every Negro apologizing to Caucasian Nation and publicly convicting our brother Carmelo Anthony in the court of public opinion.
Bro, it's black people that'll be in these in Officer Tatum comments and they'll be like, white people, all black people don't feel like this. This not all of us. And then it'll be people in the comments saying like, yeah, but it's most of y'all. And it's like, bro, because it's not really even about race. They using the white people too. The higher ups is using them too in this same situation. But they using them as the first line of defense to us. But guys like Officer Tatum and they keep pushing this, and that's how they keep it going because they funded it.
Opinion before he has had his day in court. Shame on you, Negroes. Shame on every Negro pen Shame on every black who's on the internet apologizing to Caucasian Nation, condemning our brother to guilt before he's had his day in court because you love your.
They ain't apologized for them 19 heads they cut off in the hospital when we just had to get them back and sent to New Orleans. They ain't talking about that. They ain't talking about holding them accountable for that. But let's get to that. Let's get to a lot of other stuff that's going on. It's like they quiet. Anytime they find a black person doing something, it's like they want to blow it up. We still trying to get justice for stuff that happened years ago.
Your slave master. Shame on you, Nick, talking about he had a knife. You damn right. If you're a black man living in America, you better be walking around with a weapon talking about he had a knife. You got white boys riding around with guns and y'all crying about a knife. You damn right. If you're a black man in America, you better have some kind of a weapon on you. We are public enemy number one. You're supposed to have a damn knife. What's wrong with you?
Hey, to all of the people who are against Carmelo Anthony, me as a black man in America, white people.
Now this guy is a Democrat. Now the Democrat Party is throwing people in here too, trying to provoke it, push it. So what's going on is you got people on both sides like funding this, right? This guy is a fruitcake. He LGBTQ and he's a Democrat. So they're using him to like keep it going on our side. So it's like, listen to what he say though.
Well, I'm telling you and I'm telling you now, you ever even think to approach me, bully me, harass me, think you're going to be with your twin brother or twin whatever, and do anything to me, I too will poke you.
Now we understand, but it's like, bro, they sending you
as well, straight to the heart, and that's on self-defense.
Step and ring.
This is not the Jim Crow era.
He's a
Democrat.
Democrat.
This ain't 400 years ago. This ain't 16.
And he's an LGBTQ community. He reps
this
that.
Ain't back in them days. Y'all don't want to end up like Austin. Leave black people alone. Y'all didn't play fair for 400 years. We ain't playing fair with y'all either.
But the mind of the melanin says, nah, bro, evade all of your future success, evade everything your grandma taught you, and you stand up to the kids because they white. Not because they right or wrong, because they white. This is what Umar is saying. And pull a knife out of bag and stab a kid in the heart, kill him over a...
He don't know what happened. He's just trying to bring the scenarios, looking at it after it done happened. He don't even know. We got to see it in court. You can't justify that. You don't know what happened. They got video and everything. You can't really trying to bring scenarios and you trying to publicly make this man seem guilty. Well, I know what you doing, bro. It don't got nothing to do with
dispute.
You
this
don't
is
know.
What Umar says should be honored. When somebody's bullying you, you walk away. If they back you in a corner, like you're in a bathroom and they got you in the bathroom, you probably got to fight your way out of it. He wasn't backed in a corner. You can't be backed in a corner under somebody 10 at a track meet. But if
so he's saying if somebody bullying you, you sitting down somewhere, and somebody like, look, man, get up out that seat and go somewhere else. You just got to get up out the seat and move. This is what he's trying to say. That's all I'm saying. Like
somebody is trying to bully you at a track meet, you just walk away. When somebody is bullying you at a track meet, won't you tell authorities, tell the teachers, because they are the ones that they're better suited to deal with the issue beyond what you're capable of. You don't use deadly force against somebody who's just talking to you. According to reports, they didn't.
But he reviewed Charleston White, and Charleston White said the same thing. If somebody put their hands on you, you don't use deadly force. But you got Charleston White out here on camera stabbing somebody in the head for pushing him. Like, you can't make this stuff up, bro. God is the righteous judge. For real. I think everything happens for a reason. I think this happened for a reason. There was a reason for it.
Know each other. So how is the first instance of meeting somebody bullying somebody? A bully is somebody who has a relationship with a person, and a relationship in a way in which you can then control the relationship through leveraging them by bullying.
Yes, that's what integration did. If you look at when integration happened, and I can show y'all some pictures, people was trying to go to school. They was threatening them black people going to school. They was saying, "Oh, we're gonna be." They was spitting at them. Think about what happened when integration happened, bro. That's classic bullying. You couldn't go to restaurants. Ask Reggie Jackson them. That's what everything is in America came from, bullying. Like that's what it was. When we went to their school, when we tried the integration happen, it was a whole bully lifestyle, bro, that we had to go through. Like, what is you saying? Like he talking about non-bullying.
When you don't know somebody, it's almost hard or impossible to bully them.
So you mean the integration part? Them people ain't get bullied? When Reggie Jackson made it to the Major League Baseball and he had to go eat with other people, and it was like, oh no, you know, a black person can't come in there. That ain't bullying. People getting hung, children getting beat, but we've been bullied for years. And he making it seem like none of this happened.
Because there is no connection or relationship. You don't know who they are. They don't know who you are. There is no connection to a certain degree in order for you to feel bullied by somebody. Now, somebody can try to punk you, but it's impossible for somebody to punk you when you are already wrong. Show up in the club and the bouncer kick you out and you call him a bully. Well, no, you're not supposed to be in there anyway. You going over your baby mama house when she got a restraining order and the police officer come there and put you in the back of the car. Is he bullying you? No, you in the wrong, bruh. But the asinine, I want to call it the asinatical. I'm making my own words. The asinatical statement he made. Maybe it's asinine is good enough, right? But I want to go to the comment section of this post. Nick, can we pull up the comment section? We'll try to pull up the comment section because I want you guys to see you've already saw how ridiculous his statement was. And I want you guys to see how ridiculous it is.
Bro, we need to see his comment section. His comment section have people, black people coming on there like, white people, we ain't, this is not all of us that think like this, and they still going at the black people. Like, pull up your comment section. Them people don't even like Tatum.
Is that people who are supporting his statement. So if you ever thought to yourself, you know, man, black people, they don't, just wait a minute. We'll get the clip up for you because Umar Johnson is insane for what he said. And I'll say this, you will never on the internet or in person ever hear a white person defending a white person like this. Show me a situation where a white kid who was under somebody else's tent or doing something he shouldn't have been doing, kill somebody, and the black community is supporting it. All right, we'll put it up, and I'll show you because obviously the first comment is mine, and I want to show you what this foolery looked like. All right, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's huge on my screen, but I don't know if you guys can see it. But it says my comment was bullies ? Leave my tent is bullying. Now he's encouraging black boys to throw their lives away for nothing. I got 66 likes on there. I got a couple comments. Let's see what people said. We should never defend murder. He was so tough then he should have thrown hands. I agree. Whoever this is. Now he has to spend the rest of his life in the criminal system. 100%. Almost made you wonder if he given a F about his own people, doesn't it? Yeah, we know old boy don't care. So these are just people that commented on mine. Now let's look at the comments. Well said. Somebody with good common sense says, this is sick and weird. I'm sorry, but bringing a weapon to attract me is wrong, which is a white person. See, let me just say this. A bunch of these comments that are positive came in after I commented. A lot of people start seeing the post. Let's see. Encourage the weapon. See, a lot of these people then came in here and got common sense. As you can see, they white.
Comment section.
When I looked at this the first time, all these black people in there talking crazy as a mud. And now that I shared it on my comment thing, I think a bunch of people jumping in here and saying something. Yeah, because the first comment said,
"Man, we need to see your comment section, bro."
And I was looking at these comments, and they were all of them was crazy.
Most racist people in his comment.
I guess I
know he sees.
I waited too late to comment on it because now that I shared it and people been sharing it, a lot of people have been coming in here and disagreeing. Unfortunately, the people that make sense are the white people in the comment section. There was a couple of black people that I think were in there that made sense. But regardless of that, the truth of the matter is this. It is asinine to think like that, although a lot of people think like him. The young man was wrong. He threw his life away over nothing. The moral of the story, no matter what color you are, no matter where you came from, is that if you get into an altercation, anybody would tell you avoid the altercation if possible. At all means necessary, avoid the confrontation. Now, if you have nowhere else to go and you're defending your life or defending the life of somebody else, then that may be a time and a place for you to take action. But if somebody's just talking to you, walk away. If somebody's if you wrong, admit you wrong, walk away. Don't be like him and spend the rest of your life in prison because I don't know. I'll tell you this and I'm moving on. Really what happened here is that this kid is probably a racist or have racial tendencies, and he got extra offended that these white boys was doing that to him. This is my theory. I don't know if to be true, but I've been black my whole life and I grew up in a black neighborhood, and these are the type of things that how we used to think. If it was some other black kids, I don't think the confrontation would have gone like this. But since they were white, he wanted to say, white boy ain't gonna talk to me like that. Not in front of everybody, punk me in front of everybody. No, I'm gonna do
damn right. What are you talking
something? And when he did it, looking at Black Lives Matter and all these idiots who fake lawyers on television and on Instagram, he somehow think he a lawyer. Well, no, see, they touched me and I had a chance to. Well, touching you does not necessitate a use of deadly force. These street lawyers and all this other stuff that be online are lying and they're ignorant and they're dumb. They don't know what's going on. And so they're going to lead you right off a cliff. And I think that's what happened to him. He really, really thought that if somebody touched him, because somebody probably told him that, let him touch you and then it's on. Somebody touch you, you can kill him. It don't work like that.
So there y'all go, man. This is the biggest Sambo in the game right now. And he always talking that garbage. But he'll make sense for 10% of the stuff he say. And 90% of it'll be Sambo language. But y'all know I'm always going in at him any chance I get. Shout out to Indoor Sea Woman, man, for tapping into the chat. I ain't see you in there. Yam Star 88. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's Doge. But you got Antoine Daniels, you got him, you got the Hodge twins. They spend a lot of money. The higher ups spend a lot of money on these guys, and they try to dictate the narrative on YouTube. So we got to be on here pushing our narrative and making sure people hear our voice, hearing what we saying. But man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Another one bites the dust. I will be. What's tomorrow? This today, Saturday. I'm gonna definitely have a debate tomorrow, man, at 8:30. Anytime. Appreciate you. I'm gonna have a debate tomorrow with two dudes. I'm gonna be doing a debate. I'm finna set that up now. So I want y'all to check that out. It's gonna go on at 8:30 on the channel. Probably gonna be live. Yeah, probably gonna be live, but yeah, I'm gonna do a debate with two people. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, so y'all stay tapped in. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button too, man. Push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. And I catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love. What's the debate gonna be about? Oh, it's gonna be about it's gonna be, I'm gonna have a white guy and I'm gonna have a black guy. We picking on the topics right now, but it's gonna be good, bro. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It's gonna be good. Take off. But yeah, we're gonna do it at like 8:30. So man, y'all make sure y'all tap in. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. It ain't gonna be too much about it. It's just points. Two people that I know, and I'm trying to put them on. But it's gonna be good, man. Y'all just tap in. So peace and love.